All right. Hello, everyone. We're here because we are the utmost professionals. All right. But hi, I am Ree. I am your dungeon master, and it is my responsibility to help guide these people through a wonderful story while making sure they don't cut their own hands off. But to speak of each of our wonderful cast members here, we're going to let them introduce themselves, tell you what they're up to, where you can find them, and any other cool things that are coming up. And we're going to start our introductions with Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm at Sir Monolith on Twitter. Is pretty much the only place you can find me. Tonight I'm playing Axel here on Arethian Nights, and on Mondays I'm playing a character named Quinn. No, wait, sorry. I play Quinn on Sundays in the afternoon, usually when we're having our Blood on the Bayou game, and I can remember what I'm doing. And then we're playing in another game here on Ree's channel on Mondays. Vampire games, it's a lot of fun, so you should come check that out. Same time.
All right, all right. Next up, Small Shadow Snack.
Hi, I am Mari. You can find me at Small Shadow Snack on Twitter, which is it is just possums. I play Layla here, usually on the Bear Pen a little earlier in the afternoon. I play Elijah over on Blood on the Bayou. Tomorrow I will be playing Sebastian in Price of Power right here. Come check us out. Our coterie has survived so far. Which yes. It's a good question. I a storyteller over on the Bear Pen for Undead in Dallas, which will be back in November. I'm also over on Kira's channel, the Cookout TTRPG on YouTube. I play Shay in Reclamation, Yvain in Rivenwood, and I play another character in a thing that's coming out here soon. Maybe, hopefully. I'm looking at Kira to get confirmation, but I'm not getting it. But other than that's all I got going on right now.
It's all mysteries around here. That's all we do. Next up, Earthringer.
Oh snap! I'm penultimate. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Ursaringer. Y'all already know. I'll be on YouTube. I'll be on Twitch. One day I will return to SoundCloud, but today is not that day. I'm waiting for Ree to pay me five bags of flaming hot Cheetos. But in the meantime, I'm playing Reagan Peril tonight. Your well-to-do paladin friend. I also play Vault Rest. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be tomorrow back here.
Copyright infringement.
Copyright infringement on my own character.
Right? I was like,
It was the count thing.
But yeah, and then I'm also at the Cookout TTRPGs where I play a couple characters over there. One I can't talk about. The other is Otis, but he's on hiatus right now. But enough about me. Take it, Big Dog.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Kira.
Hi, I'm Kara858. I play Aspen, the half dragon, who has just recently reunited with their sister, as while they're being chased by all types of mind flare based creatures. It should be a great time. We should be able to get out of it silky smooth. In terms of content, I'll save most of the projects that we're working on towards the end of the show, but you can be able to find all of my content listed at twitch.tv/thekara858, as well as our YouTube channel, The Cookout TTRPGs. And like I said, we'll save all of the projects that we either are currently working on or that be coming up in the near future towards the end, because I think people are willing to see what type of madness we're about to get into now. So back to you, Ree.
Indeed. And now that all of our wonderful members have been introduced, it is time for us to see just what trouble they are in. So in our last episode, they've managed to descend deep into the Underdark in search of the lost city of, we'll get to that in a moment. Now that they have arrived in the lost city, they have discovered that things were not as clear as they once thought. After seeing the sights of several colorful fires erupting in the distance, some of them decided to chase it down, while others decided to stay behind and protect the caravan they have been tasked with guarding. Now they find themselves surrounded and being pursued by a creature none of them have encountered before. And with that, I am going to need for you guys to roll initiative as we see exactly what it is they are encountering.
Everybody?
We'll say, since if you're not in the combat, you don't need to do so just yet.
Okay.
I forgot to load my nemesis.
Rocks fall, people die.
All right.
I
And with
actually bring
that,
up my dragon dice. Roll 20. I didn't know. Oh, okay.
Those aren't on
Okay.
roll 20. Well, that's gonna make this much easier to deal with. Honestly, if you're not even here.
Ree,
Yes.
I do not see anything. It's fine now. I do not have to
Okay.
fight the monster that I cannot see.
Oh, can you guys not
Right.
see it? Have I not turned on the settings?
Out of sight,
I
out of
got some
mind.
sort of message about a graphics engine error.
There
or
we
something,
go.
but now it's there.
No, do not want.
Y'all chose violence.
Unfortunately,
Abandoned
does not
and-
really. Oh, come on, what a four.
Yes.
Rolled a really
Unfortunately,
high- Let's hope.
it doesn't matter if you don't
24
want
initiative.
it or not.
Ree, I never updated my hit points on this thing.
Oh wait, did we
Well,
get a
that
level
sounds
last week? No, we didn't get a
unpleasant.
level last week.
No.
Only level
no.
7 still.
Yeah.
Hold
yeah.
on.
But there is a giant worm that is very upset with you.
We don't care what he feels or thinks.
He's also really slow. He rolled a 4 for initiative, so
That is
No, I
unfortunate.
did. I did update my hit points. For some unknown reason, it's not. Why didn't it do it?
I have to select my character.
Did that?
Oh yeah, that's all.
Ah,
Yeah,
there we go.
All right. Give me an initiative roll from everybody, and we'll see how you guys go with it. How you handle.
Oh,
your current
I rolled
backup.
my eyes. I just need to have my token
Yeah, I
added.
just-
oh,
yeah, I
oh
just
yeah, I
need
forgot.
to-
I could do that. I could just hit what Alt is, right? Alt and click on this, and it should bring it up, and I can
Yeah, I'll
hit
double
initiative.
click or something.
Yes, you
Not
should
Alt.
be.
Oh, there you go. Shift double click. There we go.
Okay.
Shift double click.
Yeah, if you shift double click on your token, it will bring up your character sheet, and then from there, once you hit initiative, it should hopefully.
It'll automatically be added to the turn order.
Yeah.
Oh,
Which
Yeah.
is that's incorrect due to my whatchamacallit, but at least they'll be able to add me in there. So I'm just going to change this real quick to my actual number. Fine.
Yo, who out here rolling a 0?
Nobody with a 0. Relax. Relax.
I'm negative one.
It's not impossible. Yeah, that's why I'm just like somebody could have rolled a 0.
Relax.
I rolled a 1, and also I have negative dex, so I
Yeah.
have a negative initiative.
Jokes
All right,
on
I
you,
believe
friend. I never
I have
everybody is
negative
here.
dex.
You
Yeah,
are
yeah,
very
one
bad
under
at
10.
avoiding things. But I believe that is everybody who is going to be joining our initiative at the moment. And the first person is going to be Axel, with Aspen up next on deck. So, Axel, you see this creature in front of you. It is very powerful. You can see that it is currently retracting one of the tentacles that has been kind of launched at you. What would you like to do?
Wanted to see how far away it was. Oh, about 55, 50 feet. Let's see something here. So the range on these is like 30 or 120 is long range. So yeah, we'll use the big crossbow because it's not going to get range penalties at this far away. It has to be over 100 feet. And if that thing gets within 30 feet of us, then it's probably a bigger problem.
I mean, every action has consequences.
That is true. Well, okay. I'm gonna take a shot at it, and let's see what we can do. Just trying to let me
You are more than welcome.
first attack round. Okay, I'll get 2 attacks. So let's do 1. Was a 14 hit?
A 14 does not hit as you fire your bolt. You see the bolt dig into the kind of sinewy and almost rubber-like flesh, but it doesn't seem to penetrate deeply.
Yeah. 19 hit?
A 19 will hit.
Okay. So that, and then
23 points plus 7.
30.
All right. The second bolt, however, flies forward, embedding itself in, and you can see a small amount of this kind of dark blue, viscous blood begin to drip down from it. But it doesn't seem to really be very affected.
It's leaking. I think I made it angry.
Well,
Keep firing.
right, is that the end of your
I'm
turn?
going to probably. I think I want to try to move a little further away from it. Let me see. I think I can. Well, I can't do a full move action. Do a partial move action, which is like what, half your move speed.
You can go full, right?
What are you trying to do?
I was just gonna move back some more.
Yeah, you can move back your 4 feet if you want to.
I don't need
That's
to move
up to
back the full distance. Let me see how far away this is. This is like 70 feet. Move back a little bit.
Is that enough to avoid being attacked? Who knows?
Don't know. I don't know. It
Who
might shoot something at me
knows?
anyway.
You
So,
want to just
I just
go.
want to make sure that I'm still within range to shoot at it. So I think that's good. I think I'm far enough away for now.
All right, Aspen, your turn. Layla, you're on deck.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead as a bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on this creature right here. So therefore, I can be able to add some damage. I'm going to go ahead and move back a bit and have my. Oh, I can't move my
Oh,
Can't move my drink. Where was I? I think I was right here before. Right?
you should be able to move it now.
Okay, so I'm going to move back 5, 10, 15. Move this up 5, 10, 15, 20. This should hopefully give enough space to where should be able to get around. Yeah. Okay. All right. That should be a perfect enough spot. From there, they're going to go ahead and attack twice with their longbow. I'm going to take a sharpshooter penalty. Give me some extra damage.
Bold if you to believe you can hit while the sharpshooter penalty.
That is the goal. We shall see. Woo. Oh yeah, that should definitely hit. That is going to be 19 to hit.
That does hit.
Perfect. All right, so that is D8. And I'm going to go ahead and use the D6 from cold damage as a reaction from my Drake. And a D8. D8, D6. That'd be plus 11.
You may roll as many dice as you like.
All right, so 12 plus 3, 15, 15 plus 11, 26 points of damage for the first hit.
Okay.
And then for the second hit, oh, that definitely should hit. That's a 16 plus 21. That's a hit.
All right, that'll hit as well.
All right. And this one does not get the extra D6, but it does get D6 for this. 12. 23 points of damage for the second hit.
Okay.
And that would be it for me. The Drake's right now just doing tanking at the moment.
Okay, sure. Layla.
I needed to make me a dexterity saving throw because I'm casting fairy fire at it.
Is that right? Dexterity it is not good at that, but it does.
Good. Good.
It's
not good.
Wait, what? He says not good, but he gets advantage. What kind of madness is that? Okay.
Oh, that's not really a saving throw, but sure. 14.
Needed to beat a 15.
Nice.
And you all see for a moment several colors begin to kind of rotate and pulse around. There's almost like an artificial aura that pulses back between reds to greens to blues to oranges to yellows and then back to red. It is very, very bright when compared to kind of the dying light of the city around you.
And I am going to scoot my butt back here. Right there. And I'm going to use the hide action as my bonus action.
Sure, you can hide. It is going to be Eileen's turn, and she is going to breathe fire towards it. I think. Nope, too far away. Nope, no fire. No fire. She will cast. A crossbow. Good old crossbow.
Oh, a heavy one. Okay.
A 20. I don't think that'll work. That'll work. 14 points of piercing. That's decent. But that's all she's going to do on her turn.
No movement?
I guess she'll move. Because you people are afraid of being up close. But no, she will actually take her movement speed to move back. Oh, I forgot to have our friend Dio make an initiative roll. Oops.
Do not want worm, bad touch.
I forgot to have Dio make an initiative. Aren't I kind for letting her join you guys? 16. Alright, we will let Dio have her turn now. So it'll be Dio's turn now. So Dio is going... she's going to cast a spell on this creature. And it is going to have to make a wisdom save, if I recall correctly. Oh boy. Let me just double check. Oh my goodness. Wisdom, okay. Oh, it's very strong at wisdom saves. Oops.
Oh my.
It failed both rolls.
Yep.
So as you all are seeing, Dio brings both hands together, and as she does, you see this kind of white flickering light begin to pulse forward, and as the light reaches this worm-like creature, it begins to slow down. That's gonna be her turn.
Yippee for
Then Eileen will shoot it, and because somebody cast a slow, it's only gonna get to move half of its movement speed. But it's also a really big creature, so half is really good. And it's gonna eat the really annoying dragon. Did it work?
I seen it. Ooh.
Oh yeah, that. Oh wait, no. You know what? Barbs, silvery barbs.
Okay. Does it have the? Does it work like Wildfire Spirit or something, where if you don't command it, it takes the dodge action automatically?
Oh, well, no, I use this Oh no, yeah, that's true. Because I only use this reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it would be the dodge action. So he would have to do it with a
Disadvantage.
You
Yep.
son of a...
Yeah. Look at me. I got you.
Yeah, I appreciate it, fam. I appreciate it, fam. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Hate both of you.
Oh yeah, the cars and the cars. Yes, the cars can come up.
You hear that?
So as the
sound of
worm
disappointment.
lashes out, you see the Drake move out of the way just fast enough before the tentacle buries itself into the ground. And as you see the ground, unstable as it is, begins to collapse inward, and you see as the creature tries to pull its tentacle back, it rips a piece of it off, losing it into the ground. And it takes the damage from the attack. I hate all of you. Well, death shall be even more swift than before.
We literally didn't do anything.
Not a single thing. Not a single thing.
All right. With that, it is now Axel's turn.
Dun, dun, dun. It's okay. Axel has usually very complicated turns, so he'll have another complicated turn. And he'll.
Complicated can be good.
Yeah. I mean, it can be if it's complicated for a purpose. Cast Hunter's Mark on it to get that extra damage, and then let's see if we can shoot it. Nope, we cannot. We got 11. Womp,
Yep, that
womp.
misses. That misses completely.
That is totally terrible. You are a failure, Axel, and your parents will be disappointed.
You got another shot, right?
Nope. I get 2 shots in the first round of combat.
Oh, you don't have extra attack yet?
Don't have extra attack at all.
Okay.
Like if
But you
I'm
tried.
using 2 hand crossbows, I
Wait,
can do 2 attacks.
doesn't
Yeah.
fairy fire give you advantage on attacks?
It does.
Oh, there's
Oh,
fairy
it does.
fire
It
on
does.
there?
It does. Yes. Here, let me
I
add
didn't realize
that to the thing.
I
Well,
forgot.
that's the red
So-
dot.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
you can
Well, then
roll
let's roll
again.
another again and see if it actually does
Right.
something.
I mean, if you had crossbow expert, you would get your extra
16.
attack.
No,
That does
crossbow
hit.
expert gives you a
16
second
hit.
attack if you have.
It ignores
A
the loading
hand.
property. Oh,
Right.
yeah, the hand one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's good for that. If I had multiple normal attacks with the crossbow, then that would be something I have to worry about. But I got the crossbow expert for the 2 hand ones, but
Okay.
they have to be within 30 foot range, otherwise you get penalties.
Roll damage.
Yeah. But he's like, hurry up and roll damage.
Roll the damage.
Roll the damage.
Liz.
23, and then a
That will hit.
1d6 from the hunter's mark for 1.
Mm.
I believe you would get the. You would get the bonus, the sneak attack
Oh,
damage.
we have advantage. So yeah, so we have the sneak attack too, I guess. If we're doing
Oh.
2 points.
But it's the thought that
Better
counts.
than 0.
It's the
Alright.
thought that counts.
Aspen, it's your turn. Layla, you are on deck.
Actually, I just got to step away real quick. Layla, if you could go, I'll be right back.
Oh, no,
It's
Aspen has fallen.
No.
He has fallen and he cannot get up.
A vending machine has fallen on Aspen.
Slipped on a banana peel.
Layla, it is your turn. Layla,
A
it's your
random
turn.
pineapple just came and walked Aspen. Layla is going to take out her crossbow and shoot the creature.
Sure, you can try. I hear it is a very nice crossbow.
22 hits.
That'll hit, yes.
Excellent. Sneak attack applies.
Sure.
In total, it's 11 points of damage.
Very nice.
And
Sneak attack.
she's resuming her hiding because why not?
Alright, well then in that case we'll let Dio go next. And Dio, slow has now ended, which means she has to do something different. Something unique. Oh, he's just gonna cast Chromatic Orb. At 3rd level. To deal... It'll hit for 16 points of damage. And I'll say it's fire. Oh yeah, how much damage? That's a really bad roll. Alright, Aspen, you can have your turn now.
All right. So, I could have done this. Aspen is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. And 5, 10, 15. How? That should be around. Perfect. Okay, 25 feet. Just want to make sure. So Aspen is going to burn 2 empower points. 1 to beef up their flames, as of course Eileen completely recognized the signature attack. As the flames grows from their chest, erupts from their nostrils, and I'm going to need this creature to make a dexterity saving throw.
At
DC,
disadvantage.
DC 15.
2.
2. Perfect.
Roll 2.
That works
What the-
perfectly. All right.
Yeah,
So that-
2.
I'll go ahead and roll this great 66.
There's only a 2.
3, 4. 25 points for that flame attack.
Okay.
And yeah, that's going to be their turn.
Is
well,
it?
Oh wait, I forgot to add an extra d6. That was force. What did I say? 20.
5.
Okay, so it'll be 29 points. Yeah, and that's it for me.
Okay. Then Eileen is going to go forward and attack it with the big axe, with her hand axes.
She going in. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I should have used the.
I'm getting fire vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no way.
Fail.
Oh, no, big sis. Not like this. Okay, there we go. We got one. We got one.
Like, what is happening?
Alright, 12 points of damage as she goes forward and begins a spinning motion with both of her hand axes, managing to carve into the creature's flesh, but not too much.
Paper cut.
And I believe that is all that she can do for the moment. Yep, that's
Now
about
it's
it.
the worm's turn.
It is. It is indeed the worm's turn, and the worm is very upset.
The worm does not have action economy advantage, but he is very size advantage.
So everybody
Oh, no.
except for Axel. No, Axel ran really far away. Everybody make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep. Wait, what about my Drake? I think my Drake avoided it, right? Because the Drake's on the side.
Yeah, sure, yeah. By virtue of not being in the path, yeah, you can avoid it. Sure.
Yeah.
Is a 17.
Ooh, that's not enough.
The dexterity saving throw?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's not enough, unfortunately.
Ooh, okay. I gotta.
Rude.
There's nothing I can do.
Okay. 14 plus 8.
Oh, that's stupid.
22.
That succeeds.
You got. Yes. The
Oh,
dice
my God,
love
it
y'all
was.
tonight.
Right? I was just like, what is happening? Thank you, Roll 20. What is happening?
That's like all 1s and 2s. I don't.
Mhm.
Like
You got 1
guys.
5 though. You got 3 and a 5.
All right. Who else is there? Dio also has to make the roll as well. I forgot about her.
Oh yeah,
And I believe
concentration.
also
That's right.
Layla failed.
Yeah, that could have hurt.
Oh yeah, I need to roll for concentration on my fairy fire.
And everyone's dead.
Oh, it was a
Oh.
20 for the con save for that spell. So
Nice.
how much damage am I taking?
If you succeed it, you take half of 19, which is 9. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, 9.
I did not
We'll
succeed.
we'll
It's
round
much
down
out.
to 9. It's like 9.5. It's a 9.
Ow.
If you
9?
failed,
Okay.
rolled underneath an 18, you take 19 points of acid damage as you feel your clothes and body begin to burn from acid. Apparently, very light acid. Axel, it's your turn.
Is much ow.
Hi. Well, let's try this against once more with feeling. Wing, bada, 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 bada. 19. So that hits.
19 does indeed hit.
And then 25. That's good consistency with that
That's
damage.
so much damage.
Sharpshooter.
Why? Why do you
And
do the
then,
damage?
Hunter's Mark, and it's sneak attack.
Oh my god.
36, 7, 38, 39.
Don't like you. Anything else, Axel? Anything else?
No, he feels okay with where he's at after he watched everybody else get spit on. He's like, all right, this is far enough.
Sure. Aspen,
He's like, I
it's your
measured it
turn.
just right.
Layla, you're on deck.
All right. So I'm going to use my last power point to wait first. Let me check and see if I can get my back. Oh, perfect. That was a 6. Okay. So yeah, I will use my last power point to make this a bonus action. So the creature is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw again, DC 15.
I know what the DC is. It's a 14.
Yay! Okay.
Like you.
So 18 points of damage from the fire. Now we're gonna go ahead and go straight for.
You get force damage or no?
No, I'm gonna add force damage to.
How much was the
arrows.
fire? What was the number?
18. All right, now time for the bows. Okay, that is going to be a 19 to hit.
That hits.
All right, perfect.
It's so undefeated.
Oh, okay. +5. 13 plus 11. 24. Yep, 24 points of damage for the second hit. And they're going for the final attack.
How do you have so many attacks?
Thanks for moving it to a bonus action. My flame breath. That would also definitely hit. Also another 19. So I already know that hits. This one I'm going to go ahead and use the reaction from my Drake to add an extra d6 of cold damage.
Team aerial combo.
Yes.
Just gonna be
Nice.
dragon next time.
That's really
Or
good.
several dragons.
Why are you hating?
With
Are we gonna get a
less-
dungeon to go with it though? I think we're in a dungeon now, so we do need some dragons later. Yeah, we gotta stick with the game's name. Roll credits.
Ooh, this was 29 points of damage. That's it for me.
Good grief.
Hold on a second.
Y'all are like dealing an average of like 70 something damage right now.
How do you want to do this? It was one. You son of a. You're never gonna have anything fun, and this is my channel.
What is it? Your thing of fun is just to kill us? Let me go ahead and send you some fish on your pills, fam. That blood is all
There are
times are high.
others.
Blood pressure all
There are
times
other
are high.
monsters.
So much salt. So much salt.
There are other monsters in the world, and this is fine.
This is the downside to having one big creature because it has less action economy than 4 little creatures.
It's fine.
Stop giving him ideas.
Anyway, yeah. So with that, you see Aspen, of course, unleash their flame breath as it wraps around them at the bottom, and as the creature tries to move to the side to be able to dodge away from the flames as it consumes its flesh, it doesn't even realize the 2 arrows that just seems to pinpoint it. One hit him right in the neck section as blood starts to squeeze out from the neck, and as the mouth and face rears back in pain, the second shot just goes straight through their eyes as their body just falls back forward in one continual motion, completely dead.
All right. And with that, as you all are, what do you all do as the creature falls?
Please tell me Reagan hears that.
Sure. Hear lots of things, lots of destruction and
You
damage
just hear
and
you just see
fire.
it crashing down like.
Yup.
Like Power Rangers.
Reagan's gonna phone in and be like, "What in the world is that, friends?"
We have company. Oh, sorry, wrong voice. Wrong voice.
Okay,
Whoa.
she's tomorrow.
Yeah,
Making your
right.
guest appearance again.
Axel just kind of casually strolls up like behind Aspen and is like, "Oh, I thought that was going to be a lot worse."
Roll me a perception check, Reagan.
Oh boy. Let's see what is in store for the natural one king.
A natural 1. Duh.
What I get?
20. Let's go.
Oh, whoa, cool. 30-20.
As you enter, you see there are still several there are 3 of these creatures that are kind of tall with these long, almost squid-like faces with tentacles going down that seem to turn towards you
Oh,
as
Reagan
you
didn't
attempt to
enter.
enter into the. Are you not okay?
Mm-mm.
You
He
have no
just
idea?
phoning in with the communication.
Oh,
Right.
then that's fine. That's fine.
He's still protecting the
Fine.
people.
You're safe for the moment. You're safe.
Yeah, they hidden.
Mhm.
You're
So
safe.
we have company. We need to head out.
What? Which way? Further
we're-
in or
We're coming
U-turn.
to you. We're coming to you. We have individuals chasing us. I found my sister. We're on our way now.
But if they're following you, won't you lead them back to us?
Well, if we could be able to outrun them with their carts, we could. Some of us could be able to utilize the carts for transport, while others could be able to pop them away from a distance. Axel and I have the ability to be able to hit from a distance, as well as Layla, I believe. So
I do too, friends.
I
I
know
just
what
don't
you're
use it
talking
often.
It can't be worse than that thing. Why don't we just go take care of business?
I'll tell Bromthrum to get ready. And then Reagan will get off the rock, our magic rock, and turn around to Bromthrum and just whisper, "All right, friends, get ready to hightail it out of here and go back the way we came."
Okay.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Roll me a either acrobatics or persuasion to see how effectively you can get the carts moved and turned around.
Persuasion it is. Nat 20! I'm a total of 27.
Very well.
Nailed
Very
it.
well. The carts are in motion.
Yo, you rolled a 19 and a 20. No, roll 20 is loving us right now. Oh my God, what is happening? What is happening?
Don't say that too loud.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Never mind. Roll it.
It is fine. It is fine. So, as the carts are being moved, the three of you, Axel, Layla, and Aspen, how are you all getting away? There are still other enemies abound.
Do we see them?
Not at the moment.
Layla is just like, nope, let's get out of here. Goodbye.
Mhm.
Evidently, we need to go. We need to go. We need to go. We need to go.
Yep, Aspen is trusting Aileen's guidance. Aileen says we need to bounce, so they're just pretty much you can jive it, but they're constantly looking over their shoulders to see if they could be able to see any target. If they see one, they'll pop one to keep them far away. But yeah, pretty much. What was this?
Sure. You do see a target as a creature reaches out and holds its hand toward you. I would say you can make an attack if you like.
Can I see this?
Sure, I guess.
Should I roll
If you're
perception to
looking,
see if I can see it.
I will say your passive would be enough.
That would hit. 24.
An assumption. You make a lot of assumptions, but that one does hit.
Make a lot of assumptions. All right. 18 points of damage. Oh no, not today, Satan.
18. Very nice. 18 points of damage is very nice. Can I have all of you make intelligence saves, though, please?
Oh.
Why?
Because it's a my player, and your friend just shot it with an arrow, and it is very.
I got a 16, but I'm also resistant
Oh.
to psychic damage.
Oh, that's good.
You said intelligence save? Oh.
I want you
did.
all to know I have a +0 to my intelligence saving.
In-
Oh, so you have to make
So
intelligence
this
save,
is
then?
as good as I got.
So okay, so we make intelligence save, right? So
Yep.
Yes.
Critical save.
That's a nat 20. Oh,
I mean,
oh,
oops, I
oh,
accidentally-
oh.
I accidentally rolled it with advantage, but either way, it wasn't gonna win anyway. So
Cool.
Still-
So Aspen and Layla managed to succeed, and as a result
Ow.
are fine. But
Ow.
as you two are running, you see Axel freeze up and just begins to clutch at their head as pain begins to rip through their minds. And Axel, you are stunned, and you take 19 points of psychic damage.
Well,
They're everywhere. Okay.
So as the group is leaving, you all see Axel go down. Do you leave Axel behind?
Of course not.
No, no.
Okay.
Layla's gonna run back and help try
Yeah.
to grab Axel.
Yeah, fortunately, Aspen is strong. So they would try to sling Axel over their shoulder and continue to run, hopefully. I do have, oh no, that's Swift Striker, so it's more about surprise than anything else. But yeah, they will definitely just keep running and trying to.
I'm going to say that for this turn, Aspen has attacked, so you won't be able to pick him up and start running again until the next pseudo round, I guess.
Oh,
What do
okay.
you
So am I
want
like
to do, Layla?
incapacitated then on the ground?
You're stunned. Yeah, you're stunned
Okay.
on the ground in pain.
Can Big Sis
A
pick him
lot
up?
of pain.
Can Layla try to drag him with her -1 strength score? By his
You
boot?
should try.
Roll
You can
athletics.
always
Roll
try.
athletics. Roll athletics.
Oh,
'Cause
why
with-
would you do
with
this to me?
negative
Okay,
one
hold on.
strength, that
I'm
means
just
you're
gonna
like a
close my eyes and
9.
roll this.
You carry
Close my eyes.
90
It's-
pounds.
It's a 12. She's tugging at his shoelaces at this point.
You're dragging, sure. Actually, it'll be a D4. Should be
Oh, not the
dragged
damage.
Oh, me?
through.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's see.
D4. So you
Boom.
take 2 points of piercing and bludgeoning
Nice.
damage as you are being pulled through the rubble of the city very painfully. Eileen does turn around and just kind of just tosses Axel on one shoulder and begins to make a run for it. So
Thought so.
we're going to make this a group check here. So you all will give me acrobatics or athletics checks. And you need to succeed on 2 out of 3 of them to get away.
Well, I'm stunned, so can I even make one?
No.
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 Or wait.
So it's really
if
up to
if it's-
Aspid and Layla, really.
Yeah. Yeah, as I say, unless if it's across the course of this one round while I'm still stunned, then that doesn't matter. So it's up to you guys.
My first roll was 6.
Oh no, fam.
Nailed it.
Oh.
Nailed it.
Now,
you got this,
now
Ursa.
we've
Reagan's got this.
you've got this, Aspen.
All right.
We're relying on you.
No pressure though.
Okay.
Not
okay,
at all.
Okay. That is not bad. That is a synthetic 20.
Hey.
Yeah. It's my plus 8.
Mind Flayer rolled a 1.
Oh, wow.
Need to get yourself one of these bad babies right here. Die Hard Dice, Dracona Dice set. Looking good.
Going to kill all of you. Alright, roll again. Roll again.
Okay.
I don't know what is going on. I've got an
Ooh.
11.
Damn, you were supposed to be speedy. Come on now. Aspen picks her up and carries her over the
I know
shoulder
the
when you
feeling.
play.
Don't worry, Ari, I know the feeling.
Because I rolled an 18 plus 8, so that is a 26. So I think Aspen just like.
If you want to carry Layla, roll. I'm gonna have to give you disadvantage if you want to actually carry Layla yourself.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to give you disadvantage.
Does she look like she's falling behind?
Oh, she's definitely behind you and your sister. 100%.
Okay. Yeah. Aspen would
Not
do
even
it.
close.
Aspen would do it. Because Aspen just like, Layla, come on now, fam. Okay. It's still not as high, but it's still pretty good for a T. 22.
As you all are making your way, you hear what sounds like some sort of language or sound happening behind you, but you are able to quickly reach the pass where you left Reagan behind, and you see that the carts have already started moving without you. But for the moment, you think you've gotten away.
All right. So, well, Aspen is like has Layla is just like, sorry, I just we were being chased, and so they're gonna puff out the wings and just kind of like fly past and just like drop you right right next to where your cart is. Just like, okay, we're good. Special delivery.
There is the slightest noise of a flustered tiefling bopping down onto your car.
The card takes 2d6 thickness damage. I was in the corner.
I'm disappointed in all of you.
2d6 thickness damage. I'm saving that. That needs to go on a t-shirt. That's go on a t-shirt. Ree, if you're not taking that as a Patreon t-shirt, I'm taking that. I am taking that.
offended.
Ursa would definitely give you some of the profit because that was grade A quality.
Absolutely.
2d6 thickness.
Reagan will buzz in. He'll be at the top of the second, so when he see you all, like, we'll see you fly up and set Layla down somewhere.
Oh yeah, because he would have flew past where he has his wings, but so I was like, they're coming. We got more on the way.
Well, in that case, he doesn't have to buzz in, but
Mhm.
you're going to actually, well, Reagan already has a sword out, but you're going to see him take pretty much the Highlander two-handed sword stance like this.
Oh snap! Okay.
And you would also notice that his sword is glowing particularly with that dark energy right now.
Oh, the void. Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Are you attempting to wait and meet your enemy?
Yeah, he's holding action because he hasn't heard anything
Okay.
otherwise. He heard he's in pursuit of enemies.
Okay, then you may do this. You can make me an attack roll with advantage because you are waiting for something to arrive.
Oh, so something has shown up.
It is happening.
I mean, he can't.
It's
He's not just gonna fire for no
happening.
reason, Like,
No, it's happening. It is going to happen. You are rolling to see what happens when it does happen. So roll the attack, and then we shall see how that goes for you.
wow, are you serious?
Yes, that's fine. You guys are
What kind of
working.
hold action is this, though? Like, I'm not
Just
gonna tell
going-
you what you're even attacking. You're just gonna have
You
advantage on
don't
it.
know what you're attacking. You know that they're waiting for the enemy. The enemy is appearing, and then you're going to shoot it.
All right, let me just click it twice.
Unless
Wait.
you don't wish to shoot it.
Oh wait, I got 2 shots of Eldritch Blast, right?
Yeah, there'd be
At my level?
two beams. Yep,
Yeah, so
2 beams.
that's 1. Well, I guess let me click that 4 times.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, 1 hits, I guess.
So I have good news.
Uh-oh.
Oh no, you had advantage. You're lucky.
Mm,
To the 1 doesn't count. You're lucky. You're
Yep.
fortunate. You're fortunate.
You don't need that card. Those cards
So,
coming up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first beam. So the first beam will hit. Yeah, the first beam will hit.
yeah, just the
The
first
second
one.
one misses.
Mhm. What am I even? You say that like I
So,
hit something.
No, I'm not finished. Relax. As you begin to call on the dark energy from your patron, you see one of these long, very sinewy, long beings step into the cave entrance and begin to do something. You see they reach out their hand, and you feel just for a moment your vision begin to go kind of blurry. And as you release your spell, roll the damage.
All right. 8 damage.
Oh, it's only 8.
Yeah, he doesn't have
it does
agonizing.
hit, but it isn't enough to stop what he's doing. Can I have you make me a wisdom save, please?
That is fair.
Yeah,
And
that's very fair.
17.
You son of a... You feel
Pounded,
your
dog.
mind begin to haze over before your will and your oath. The devotion to protecting your friends takes over and pushes it back, and you can feel this faint connection that had begun to be bridged between you and this creature snap. And for a moment, you can see utter revulsion in this creature's eyes as it prepares its next attack. Now, I believe you all are attempting to get away. If that is the case, I need for you to make animal handling checks. At this point, Axel is not stunned anymore. And all of you need to make one, as you each have found yourselves kind of in charge of one of the 4 carts.
Oh,
good.
you are mean. You don't want to give us cart rolls. I see how it is.
I mean, the cart
See, I got
roll.
19.
If you have proficiency in land vehicles, you can use that instead, but I don't think any of you
Come on,
has
Ray.
proficiencies in land vehicles.
It's 15.
All right, animal
What I got.
handling.
Animal handling.
That's a 9.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
18 for me.
18, that's good. That's good. 18 is good.
Of course, I am a ranger. I must be good with
What was
animals.
yours, Layla? Oh, well, that's not good.
It's 15.
Well, 15 is
so-
good.
Axel
Is that good?
and Aspen are moving quickly. Their carts are moving forward. Reagan, your cart kind of moves forward and then bumps into a wall, and then it kind of needs to be like reoriented for a moment. You're moving, but you are definitely not moving as quickly as the others. You are falling behind.
That's
Can
fair.
have everybody make the rolls again as you are still being chased.
That's a 13.
I just got a
That's
good
a 13.
roll, man. I rolled a 17. And I got a 1, natural 1. Nailed it.
Oh
Nailed
no!
it.
Wait, why you get natural one? Oh, good no. Well, fortunately, I got the same number again, so another 18 for me.
Let's be nice, big dog.
I've got good news. And I
And
have
good
bad
news?
All right.
And
Can I
good news
say?
and bad news.
No, my Drake is not proficient in animal handling. He can't do anything. Never mind. Okay, keep going. Sorry.
As you all are moving, you manage to hit the kind of that circular hole, that cave entrance where the worm was. And as you hit around that corner,
I was hoping
the
for this,
three of
actually.
you manage to take the corner well enough that you're able to continue going. Axel takes the corner and the back wheel falls just enough that the momentum is going to take him down into the hole instead of past it. You all see this. What do you do?
Reagan's gonna take flight.
And you just hear a
Go to catch him.
"Ah!"
You got this, Reagan.
We gonna see.
You're trying to catch a whole cart. You know, I respect it.
It's the cart
shit.
and Axel?
Yeah, the whole thing is gonna go over the cart. You could grab Axel, but like Axel, the cart and everything in the cart, including the people, will fall into the hole.
Oh, Reagan's gonna probably prioritize the people.
Get the cart. Get the
Yeah, he's
Wait.
counterweighted.
Layla's gonna expend one of her bardic inspirations to Regan. Just like, will you catch them, please?
My Drake can fly, so I was just like,
Yeah.
Drake, you got this. Umbra. And I'll have my Umbra just try to help and push the cart back, because funny enough, Umbra is as strong as I am, so he can
So
go
is
ahead.
it Umbra on cart and Reagan on Axel? Like, how you want to do it?
Yeah, that's what it seems like, right?
All right,
Well,
sure.
you and the people, and Umbra would try to push past, I guess, the cart.
All right. So wait, did the people fall out of the cart or the people in
No,
the cart?
they are in the
falling?
cart and falling.
Okay. So that would mean, yeah, so Umbra can do that because I think Umbra's probably stronger than Reagan,
How
probably.
strong is Umbra?
Umbra has a 16 strength, so same as me.
That's stronger than Reagan.
So about 160 pounds.
Oh, that means you need
But
help.
it's 13 times 16. What is 13 times 16?
213 times 16 is 180, I think, right?
Oh no, it's strength score times 15. What? Hold on.
That makes more sense,
Hold
man.
on. 15 times 16. So 240 is not going to be enough to catch a falling cart. As it's falling.
All right,
But
I'm-
it is a very good start. What else? What else do we have? What else do we have?
Reagan's gonna have to help. Reagan's gonna have to
Yeah.
help with the
What else
cart.
do we have?
Yeah, so Reagan can help with the cart, and in that case, I'll have to burn a level 2 spell slot to use a summon beast to help pull the creature. This one is going to be I think they have the same stats for all of them. Let me double check. I don't think it changes if it's...
Save the money.
Your wife would have come in real handy right now. I swear. Dog. Them son
Swear?
animals, dog. Ah.
I mean, she
Dewdrop
rolled a
would've
bunch
been
of dice at
amazing.
Gen Con. She could have rolled them if she was watching.
I know, but she
Wait.
isn't.
This is a dewdrop moment if there ever was one.
It's just something like 8 wolves to come out and pull the cart. Yeah,
Giant owls, dog. What
yeah,
you
giant
mean?
owls. Yeah, giant owls. Yeah, that would be great.
Some
Give me 1
giant
second.
birds.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and do some of the beasts. That will check out the stats of that one. Summon beast has. Oh, they have an 18 strength. Okay, they're strong. You know what? So I'm gonna get the fly version, as they also can fly 60 feet. And yeah, their strength is 18. So 18 times 15 is what, 300 and
It's in the 300s.
350? Yeah, 350, I think.
Okay.
I ain't working that hard.
So as you all are beginning, you have enough strength to carry this. However, it isn't quite enough to prevent the actual momentum from being pulled down, which is when Dio casts the spell, and you watch as the lizard-like creatures that have been pulling these cards, this one transforms into what looks
Dio has
kind of
power.
like a giant vulture. And you see as its wings begin to expand out beneath it. Together, you all are able to prevent that momentum from pulling it down before you're able to begin flying the cart back up. And I will say, because of the really, really good teamwork, it doesn't take any damage. The cart is okay. It is okay. And then you feel the ground begin to shake.
Oh no, the
Perfect.
word.
No, that's perfect. Get them
What
little
are you
Cthulhu
all
babies off
doing?
of us.
What are
That
you
is
all
perfect.
doing? Your chain of carts has stopped for the moment. The fourth one is back on solid ground. The vulture does turn back into the creature from previously.
Does Dio have mending?
Yeah, Dio has a mending.
All right.
I have mending as well, but I remember Dio has a mending. 'Cause Dio mended it last time.
Well, since Dio is, I'm assuming, nearby.
Yes.
Is the cart? Is the
Okay.
cart still damaged or?
Yeah,
No,
like
it
that
has
wheel came
minor
off, right?
superficial. No, the wheel didn't come off. As the cart was making that turn, the wheel came off of the ground and went out
Off the
over
ground.
free air, but did
Okay.
not break.
All right, if we're back on track, then just get a move on, I guess.
All right.
And
If
Reagan will fly
everybody
until it
is-
runs out, and then get back on his
Okay.
cart.
All right. One more round of animal handling to get these carts to safety.
All right, Daddy needs another natural one.
No.
I would have said my bestial spirit to be around the Layla Axel cart just to be on the safe side, and then and I would keep my trait towards mine just to make sure.
Oh, not a natural one. Thank you. It was a 3
Oh my god!
I got a 14.
for a total of 5. Nailed it.
Dog. Okay.
You're a ranger, fam. You are a ranger.
I'm a rogue first.
Oh, okay. I thought you were a ranger first.
Actually, no, I think I am a ranger first, but animal handling's not one of my my things because I'm a different type of ranger.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I'm just reading something before I roll. Okay.
Ooh, this is delicious. This is delicious. That was 19 on the die.
15.
19 plus 6. Oh, it's not mine, same as mine. But yes, 25.
Let's see how low.
I am almost Mowgli. I am almost Mowgli in this state.
So we have a 5, a 15, a 25. What was yours, Layla?
14.
Okay, well, Aspen, your cart is going. You are disappearing further and further down the path. The rest of you feel the ground trembling, and you can see parts of the cave begin to crumble behind you. I need one last check to see how well you all could get away from this.
I legit only have
situation.
2 points in animal handling. So.
You need to beat a 10.
We need to beat a what?
That's
10.
Okay.
Well, that's
10 on the
14.
dot.
Woohoo!
13.
We just barely
Feel parts of the cave beginning to crumble behind you. But as you're able to pull the carts away, you reach a part of the cave that is more solid. And as you all manage to kind of get there and stop for a moment, everything goes quiet.
Reagan's emitting light, so that's not necessarily an issue. At least for a little bit. And Reagan's just gonna be like, is everyone all right? Did everyone make it out?
I was just about to ask you the same question. It's good to hear your voice. You saw that you made it. Everyone else could check in.
I feel like all you see from Layla is she just reaches over, touches her chest to cast prestidigitation on her acid torn clothes.
The rest of us are fine.
That's good.
Reagan's
good.
making a beeline for where Pilla is, or the car where Pilla is. Gotta check on his ladyship.
Pila seems to be fine. She didn't seem to be particularly disturbed.
She probably had her
Anything.
hands behind her back, just like legs up.
Well, forgive me, my lady. We've encountered some difficulties, but I was just checking on your well-being.
This is fine for me.
Reagan will nod and gently go ahead and close that cart. We're like, well, everyone, looks like we all made it out in one piece, and it appears that there's someone new with us. And Reagan's gonna pointedly look at Big Sis.
Oh yes. Well, I guess we can talk more once we find a place to rest. But I was able to find who I was searching for. This is Eileen, the oldest among us, and the one I've been searching for the whole entire reason why I left my home. So good to see her.
It's a pleasure, Eileen. Reagan Pero, Paladin of, and then you see him like noticeably pause. Paladin.
Nice to meet you. It's good to see that you all are all right, and my younger brothers managed to accomplish something effectively.
Oh, your brother's been keeping us alive so far. Believe that.
Noticed you all tend to be a bit reckless. Very reckless. Which is saying something coming from me, but that's unimportant.
Are you the one with the gnome friends?
Yes, are they all right?
Last we saw them, there was one that had a little bit of a malady, but I was able to cure it. They insisted upon waiting in the spot in which you left them.
Difficult people, but I'm glad you're able to help them.
Yes, we're about to. We actually were using this expedition to see if we could be able to find a spot and then make our way towards. Make our way back after the expedition has been completed, and I was using that as my way to be able to search for you. So we were
I'm
glad.
very thankful you all were able to find me.
What were you doing in there?
Oh, that's a bit complicated. I was looking into something for some very nice people, and then there are whatever those creatures were snooping around that city, and I attempted to take it back, and I succeeded just a little, but it was ultimately too much.
So your goal is to eradicate the creatures that's inside that city one day.
Yeah, it was.
We could do it again, perhaps in the future after this expedition has been completed.
Perhaps.
How close are you? Do you feel it?
Close enough. Rather few things. Rather few things.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. How does it feel? Do you feel closer to it?
There's more to it than what I believed.
In what way?
There is some understanding that you have to have first that I don't. But in time, I ran into some people that are different, but they gave me some more information about how the process works.
So it is not just epic deeds that helps us to change. There's more to it.
Yes, much more.
Well, we have some more time. I would definitely like to pick your brain. Just because I feel like, well, I know you have a much larger head start to this journey than I do. That's for sure.
It's not
Reagan's
a race, brother.
Well, seeing that this is like a brother-sister conversation, he's gonna try and rally Bromthrum and Dio to try and work out an alternate route.
Okay. Are you looking to make an alternate route backwards or back towards the city that you left?
I mean, Reagan probably considering the mission, and pretty much the majority is like, we want to complete the mission. It's gonna be to get to the city.
Okay. I will say it won't take you too much time to figure that out. What about the
And
rest of you?
yeah, Reagan will just be waiting patiently to talk about it once they've figured that out.
Oh, just a quick chit chat, but yeah, you all can go ahead.
Okay. Axel and Layla.
She is laying in the cart, just with like her feet up over something, just like, I'm just gonna lay here for a little bit, if you don't mind. It's been a lot of running. Ugh.
And now roll a performance check. Let's see how many people you catch staring.
Like a fading couch just appears from the back.
You better believe it.
The unofficial performance check was a 15.
Yeah.
I am
You
just
see
Axel's
how?
just like, Axel's just finding somewhere soft to lay down and be like, this headache is terrible.
Oh, yeah.
my gosh.
okay. So you all can take the benefits of a short rest, as
Yes.
you all are taking an hour to recover. If there are any
Sure you wanna do that
conversations
here, though?
you wish to, that's up to you. There's nothing I can do but that decision. But if there are any conversations you wish to have, you may have them as well.
Just to clarify, this short rest is happening while we're still driving on the cart, right? It's not. We're not actually stopping, right?
That's up to you.
Yeah,
If you wish to stop, you can. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I presume we're still moving forward, but yeah, they asked will definitely take that time to do a short rest. I'm presuming we all got hit. Almost. Well, no, not all of us. Almost all of us got hit with
At
the
some point, yeah.
that one feature. So I'll be like to get that back.
I mean, this is a short rest. I get my spell slots back.
Mhm.
Me.
Also, Aspen will cast a message over to Layla and say, "You owe me one."
On the short rest, are you limited to how much hit dice you can use to try and heal with, or?
Just as many as you have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As many as in your pool, you're good to go.
Okay. Well, I will. Okay.
Can Reagan bless the cards?
No.
I was hoping. I was just asking.
You cannot bless inanimate objects.
Who says you can't? That's called consecration. What you mean?
Not the same. There's a whole spell for that. It's a different thing. Entirely different thing.
Aspen just gets back anytime. Let me know.
Uh-oh.
He just smirks.
38.
I
from
will have
having
to
this
search her
nice-
abdomen. for that tail.
Where's your wings at? Basically,
You gotta drink some Red Bull.
Why aren't you flying like the rest of us? Oh, okay. All right, we'll go ahead and roll that in. In terms of that, also, they will say over the communication. By the way, what transpired to you? Actually, it looked like you were like frozen for a second. What happened there?
I don't know. I just got this overwhelming sense of pain in my mind. I don't know. There's something that was attacking me. I couldn't see it. It was just my mind was just on fire, and I couldn't move or do anything. Did I fall down? I don't even remember really. It hurt a lot.
It looks like you're almost as if somebody make you froze in place. Fortunately, my sister was able to help assist and get you out of there, but I've never really seen that before. I don't think. Can't recall. I guess it's just something we have to keep an eye out if we approach those type of creatures in the future, especially if we're concerned about having a getaway. If they have the ability to freeze you in place like that, that could really put a hamper on our ability to be able to retreat if needed.
Yeah, no, I agree. That was I'm glad I wasn't I'm glad they didn't catch me out alone somewhere. That would have been really bad.
I'm just glad everyone is safe.
Indeed. As well as the cart. I was very concerned that cart was about to fly over the cliff. But a group effort. Thank you. It was like we all got together to be able to keep that cart safe and sound with no damages. So that was definitely a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm presuming we have to go a different way to try to find the center of the city. Anyone have any ideas of how to get there?
What would the plan have been that Reagan attempt to work out?
Together you all have found that there is a second way around to what would be like the main gateway of the city, kind of the official entrance to it. It'll take maybe another hour of travel to get there.
Reagan will relay all that.
Perfect.
And we'll be there in about an hour's time if we keep this pace.
That works. I guess everyone just keep their eyes out. Who knows? With those creatures around, there may be more around in the near vicinity, especially as we make our way to the city. So I guess we should just keep. Does everyone prefer to move a bit more slowly and more cautious, or should we maintain the same pace?
All right. When you said that 1 hour calculation, Reed, was that based on regular pace or slow pace?
Regular pace.
Considering what we've been through, friend, perhaps time is of the essence, and we may have to let the people know what's going on down here.
Very well. That makes sense. I guess we'll maintain our pace and keep that 1 hour time frame still in check. And we'll just do our best, the best that we can to keep an eye out for any type of possible nefarious creatures in the near vicinity.
Yeah, we asked Eileen about any of this information. Perhaps she knows what those creatures are.
As we look towards Eileen, because especially since Eileen doesn't really have a communication device. Do you happen to know what those things were?
The people I spoke with earlier said they come from somewhere else. I didn't have a name for them.
She don't know nothing.
Now, one of my favorite foes is aberrations. Would that? I know that one creature with the tentacles would be completely out of the picture because it sounds like that's not something we have approached before at all. But mind flayers are a bit more common. Would I have a bit more familiarity with that?
You have not encountered them before.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. Would I have gained the sense that perhaps they were aberrations?
You think so? There's that same alien nature about them, that same unsettlingness about them, but you haven't seen these particular things before. It's particular people.
So I do have some experience dealing with aberrations, and they seem to give off that same sort of essence, that alien type, just an alien type, very foreign. I'm not entirely sure what they are, to be honest. So my assumption is with so many that we came across already in the near facility, we probably will experience more in the city. So I guess we just have to keep cautious.
Affirmative, friend.
All right, and they keep making their way.
All right. As you all begin your travels, you are getting closer and closer to the city, so you all decide to be quiet. Can I have you roll me stealth checks, please?
Alrighty.
Wait, was it with the car or is this with our stats?
With your stats.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
It's a 21.
Yes.
See if I can be sneaky. Because Ursa can 24.
Really? Now you decide to act up? Okay.
Ursa thinks that he is the stealthiest one here. As he
I
goes,
never said that.
Stompy.
Oh, you're talking about for the nap.
You all are being quiet. Ursa Rhaegar ends up running their blade into like the stone a few times.
Crank.
And then as you try and remove the blade, you end up taking the handle and then jamming that into the ground for a second.
What you talking about? He
And
can just make it disappear and then have it reappear in his hand.
You absolutely can do that. And as you're looking at it and you're thinking about it, you probably should have just did that. But you didn't. So yeah, it definitely you made some noise, and as you kind of sit there and you wait, nothing seems to happen. And as you all are approaching the
wears that
large
medium
stone
armor just for the freaking stealth, and almost every time he's made stealth on his own devices.
As you all reach the large stone doors of the main entrance of Borntarum, that is where we're going to take our break for the evening.
Already, Doug? Already? Nah, that's 6 bags of Flaming Hots. You
so we will be back in about we'll be back in 20 minutes, 17 minutes, so at 50 past the hour.
All right.
And also, I don't know if anyone noticed, but we at ReeRoles, we have reached 50 followers. So I do thank you all for that.
Congratulations!
That's 7 bags. That's what you're saying.
Affiliate land. Yes. Yes.
So we will be back in a bit. So take care, whatever you need to. Then make sure to join us again to see where this story takes us.
Celebrate good times. Bye.
All right, hello, welcome back. Now, as we return to our stories, our party reaches the large, nearly ground-to-ceiling stone walls and doorway to the ancient dwarvish city. What do you all do?
Well, this looks to be the place. What was the next plan once we reach this location? Just wait here?
I don't know.
Take care of that point.
Okay, there we go.
And you see Bromthon does step out of the cart, and he walks over to the door. And does any of you speak a dwarvish?
No.
Or undercommon?
That's the what a few languages I do not have. I have undercommon, but not dwarvish.
Roll me an intelligence check. Oh, all right. Both of you roll intelligence checks, because it's not quite dwarvish and it's not quite undercommon, but it is similar.
I speak dwarvish, orcish, common, thieves can't, elvish.
That is a 13.
15.
So the words that he says is it's clearly a dialect of both dwarvish and common, kind of a point where the two languages have come together, and it sounds like the door opens at the end almost to you. But as he says that, you can hear the two doors begin to slowly pull themselves apart as the ground above you begins to tremble, and you can see bits and pieces of debris fall down on top of you. And a few people cover their heads and wrap their faces in kind of their shirts. Then a moment later, the door is fully open, and as it is, you see off in the distance sconces become to light up with this kind of bright white light. It kind of bathes the ground in just enough light to see, but not enough light for it to truly be bright in here. And as you see, a road opens up in front of you.
What do we do now, Bromthorn?
Well, I'm going to go to the heart of the city to begin cataloging things. I imagine you all want to find any of those creatures that were inside of here and get rid of them.
Do you know if they have infiltrated the city?
I do not.
Did you ask the guards or anything?
No guards here.
I thought you were speaking to someone to grant us passage.
No. It is magic. Ancient Duergar magic.
That is fascinating.
So
I suppose so.
So our task is to explore the city and essentially eviscerate any of these aberrations that we've come across to make sure your cart is safe. Is that correct?
Well, your task is to keep everyone safe, which I suppose posed would mean that you'd have to eliminate the things endangering us.
Yeah, that's correct.
Well, Bromthorn, we're at a bit of a disadvantage here, friend. I assume most of us can't exactly ask around.
No.
Maybe you can't.
I said most of us, friend.
Do you wish for us to surround the carts and prevent any individuals from approaching the carts, or do you wish for us to explore the city as a sort of task force and eliminate what we come across?
I'll leave how you keep people safe to you. However, I would prefer you to minimize the damage to the buildings and structures around.
What's
Everything
the
here
deal
is
with Brom?
priceless.
They look towards Layla and Axel and say, what do you think? Would you prefer residing around the carts to just make sure nothing approaches the carts, or do you wish to venture forth into the city and eliminate it?
Well, I mean, we were charged to look after the carts, not the city.
Agreed.
That's a fair point.
It is my duty to take care of these people, friend.
Agreed. And that way we can keep perhaps our skirmishes to a minimum by just keeping an eye out on the cart as a whole. So I agree with everyone. I think in that case we will just protect the carts, stay around the carts, and make sure no danger actually comes forth and cause any problems. Would that work for you?
That was my plan regardless, friend.
Perfect. In that case, I'll keep an eye out to make sure nothing comes from a distance.
All right.
You all are
As you
better at
all-
that sort of thing.
As you all begin to trek forward, make perception rolls.
And
Wow.
here we go.
While that's happening, Aspen will speak out to Reagan and says, "By the way, be cautious if a creature
Natural
of
20.
tentacles approach. They have the ability to be able to stun you by staring at you, freezing you in place. That is what happened to Axel as we were attempting to make our way back here."
Yes, I would not recommend. It was painful.
I felt
Night.
something as well, but it felt like more of a sensation as if it wished to join with me or something.
I'm not sure him joining with you would feel better.
I got that impression myself, friend. But yeah, let me go ahead and roll this perception on.
Axel's got his
Oh,
X-ray
19.
night vision on, seeing
So I
all
reckon
the
it's with
stuff.
y'all.
22.
28 with a natural 20.
Oh yeah.
As you all are moving through the streets, you see many things. You see
See
that
the
the
spider
overall
crawling
structure, of the city seems to be made of stone, various different types of stone. The houses seem to be blocky in nature. The doors seem to be about average height, though you do notice that the entrance, the door knob, for lack of a better word, seems to be lower than you'd expect. And as you're walking through it, you notice the kind of architecture is very strange looking. It's definitely not any dwarfish that you've recognized, but it looks interesting. And as you are walking, you see in the distance there's a very tall, almost like a three-dimensional square that has been carved in the very center. There seems to be made up of about 4 different buildings that have been connected together by a series of walls. And you see standing in one of them is a shadowed figure. They look to be maybe holding a long staff of some sort. And behind them is a very eerie purplish glow.
Excuse me. My apologies. I was just about to speak and then I swallowed at the same time. But primeval awareness, it just is detected.
Patience.
Go ahead.
Patience. Patience.
Yeah, my throat says otherwise. My throat is just like, speak. Oh no, wait, no, speak.
I believe primeval awareness will notify you of aberrations.
Yes.
And you do sense an aberration coming from that direction.
Yeah, we'll speak that into the comms. It says, be cautious. Aberrations afoot up ahead. Don't wish to attack unless they're cause danger, but they are of an aberration variety.
Understood, friend. Reagan's on guard.
Do they do anything as we approach?
Not at the moment.
Aspen looks towards Layla and Reagan and says, you two are our best communicators by quite a bit. Do you want to wish to see if this could be handled peacefully, or you wish to ignore them?
Hopefully, whatever it is speaks common.
Yeah, cause I don't really speak a lot of languages. I've got like 2.
I like how you went to like 4 and then had to subtract 2.
She was counting on her hands and then left thieves' cant out.
Yep.
Bromthron, do you recognize that figure in the distance?
What figure? And you see as you go to look up, they're not there anymore.
Oh, you've got to be joking.
Well, I still would sense them, right? From primeval awareness. Where are they currently at?
You can sense them in front of you, but you find that it's becoming harder and harder for you to sense their presence.
They're still there, but they must be doing something to cloak themselves. It's harder for them to be able to see, but I still sense them. I also have blind sight, so that might help a bit as well. But
now you sense 2 more, each one coming from the left and the right. Maybe another. It's hard to tell underground, but maybe 150-ish feet away, give or take 5 feet.
There's more. There's definitely a few more out there.
All right, Reagan, we'll give some a shot then. We have peaceful intentions, friends. We do not wish for combat or any undue hardship. We've come to make new friends. This is in common, of course.
Nothing happens.
Well, so far they don't seem too welcoming. Reagan says that into the comm.
It could be perhaps of a different language. They will speak in deep speech due to them getting the system as operation. It says, we wish to venture to this city. Will you let us pass?
Why should we let you do anything? And you hear a voice, and for a moment, you realize that the voice isn't so much as speaking as the information is being sent to your mind directly.
Got a winner.
Yeah, they stop realizing how the communication is being delivered. Nods and it says, well, there is an expedition that just wish to perform certain tasks. Nothing of an issue towards you. We're not wishing to cause you any harm. And I believe the individual in charge of this expedition, their ancestors, used to be part of the city. So he just wished to be able to look upon it and try to grasp what was here long ago. That was part of their lineage. Nothing more.
Trading.
Oh, and trading.
And you have no interest in anything else?
No. Not to my knowledge. Unless he has a secret ordeal, but I don't believe that's the case.
Do not go any further than the main building.
He will speak out towards the others. At first he says, I'm presuming this is your home as well. Are you of dwarvish variety or something else?
No answer.
When they realize the conversation has ceased, they announce to the group. It says they have allowed us safe passageway no further than the main building. I'm presuming this city belongs to this individual as well. I'm not entirely sure what their lineage is, but they did grant us safe passage.
There are no Dorgar left.
Do we need to make a history check to find out what that is?
Yeah, I'm just like, yeah, how will we make the connection?
I would say, Aspen, since you're a ranger and you deal with the aberrations in the Underdark relatively regularly, you know that the Dorgar are very similar to the Dark Elves, a group of people who have decided to live underground for a variety of reasons. You can make a history check to see if you know anything else about them.
Okay. Oh, that was a nat one. So that
Wow.
Now they're dwarves who lived underground for some reason.
That's pretty much it. So he looks towards Rothram.
You know, I will let the rest of you make history checks as well at disadvantage, and the DC will be higher.
How
But
gracious.
you might have read something. Who knows? You guys might have been curious and read a couple tomes in your day.
That is a 6.
Layla
Yep,
is
yep.
happily bopping around in the back of her cart because she rolled a 5 and it's all she's got. She's coming up with music in her head.
See people watching this at home. This is why we don't make intelligence a dump stat.
Joke's on you, strength is my other dump stat.
Well,
my
you
dump
all
stat.
have no idea. You have no idea who the Dorgar are. Oh no.
So he looks towards Rothram and says, does this deal work for you? Not going past the major household. Like I said, I believe this city belongs to this group of individuals, and as someone who has a haven of our own, the last thing I would like to do is try to infiltrate someone else's home if it belongs to them.
Know to whom you're speaking about, but this place belongs to the Dorgar, and the Dorgar are gone. That being said, I don't think we have enough space to take very many things. I cannot argue against any arrangements you choose to make.
Are you saying this city does not belong to this group of individuals before us?
The city does not belong to anyone anymore. Don't understand how other people are here in the first place.
But what do you say, Ursa?
How old is Bromthran?
You can try to roll an insight check.
You know what? I'll go for it. But that's an Ursa thought. That's not a Reagan thought.
I can tell you he looked old. Just kind of look.
All right. In that case, if this is said over the stones, then Reagan will overhear it. He'll probably try to suss that out then. I can rationalize it like that. 8.
You think he's at least 52? At least. At least easy 52 years old. Easy.
Well, Reagan's going to say it over the con. It couldn't have been that long ago, friend. You seem to be the age similar to my father.
I said like 52 for a dwarf. Isn't that like a teenager? Okay. he did. He rolled an 8. Yeah.
At least 52 years old. At least 52.
Oh.
Layla's kind of doing the thing where, like, when she hears Reagan say it, she just kind of like looks out, like, oh, okay, maybe 52. I don't know.
Aspen shrugs and says, very well. Yeah, you bring up some good points. We'll just stay pretty much around the main building areas. We'll not go past that, and therefore we could be able to exit the location peacefully without any threat to the caravan.
Okay. And you all make your way down the main road.
Making our
You do
way.
find a central building that seems to be kind of where this particular road ends. And as you stay on that road, you all are able to enter inside, and you find that there are several layers of stairs that are in a cube but circular manner that kind of goes all the way around and then straight up. And after a moment or two, you all are sitting in what looks to be not quite a throne room, but a central area. I would say Aspen and Axel and Reagan, I would say, would recognize this as some sort of, looks to be like some sort of maybe a military strategy room.
Okay.
And you see that the people begin to get to work. You see them pulling things out that looks to be kind of like tools, brushes, things like that, and they begin to very slowly and methodically go over different areas of the building. You see there are some what looks to be like a large portraits of what you'd guess to be rulers that are hanging up on the wall, and they begin to brush those off and take them down. You see a few people have different, what has to be bags of holding as they begin to slip things inside.
Oh, Reagan's like walking amongst them, like reiterating the rules. This is first contact in his mind, so he just like, we are not messing this up. We are making friends. We are not making enemies. I'm not losing a life if I can help it.
Oh, Reagan, go ahead. Okay.
Hey, you
As this
paladin, dog.
process-
I don't know what you want to do.
As this process continues and Reagan follows behind them, what do the rest of you want to do?
Layla is doing her best to keep her hands in her pockets, but she is humming to herself, and she's just following everybody else's like lead. She's just like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to use the one brain cell in my head to just go with the flow.
Sure.
Axel is going to keep an eye out because he's not sure he necessarily trusts the the stuff outside, or that we're not going to get ambushed again. So he wants to kind of try to keep, well, I guess he's gonna try to kind of keep keep himself covered as best he can, but also keep an eye out to try and spot whatever he may be able to see, if there's anything trying to be sneaky. Like that ant on the storm drain a half mile down the corridor.
That nat 20 might as well.
Aspen doesn't really realize subconsciously that his tail is swinging in sync from Layla's humming of "Making My Way." But as he's doing so, he looks towards Eileen and says, "Since you were coming down here to the city, would you happen to know more about the city as a whole, these individuals that reside here, and how they connect with the Durgar?" Brothram was indicating that the city now belongs to no one, but there's clearly individuals residing here. Would you happen to know?
I can tell you what I was told about that, but that's about it. I was told that they were a dangerous group of ancient dwarves who lived underground to avoid the gods or something like that.
Oh boy.
They were a group of cultivators, from what I understand. It disappeared a few thousand years ago.
And the individuals that now reside here, are they of Durgar descent? What do you think they may be?
No, they are from somewhere else.
Oh, that would explain the aberration feel I get from them. Very well. It is not my responsibility to eliminate someone from their home if they have claimed ownership over it, but I'm just curious if your task kind of overlapped here. Speaking of that, we were going to talk a bit more of your job down here, but sadly we got tossed to the side a bit. You were just coming to investigate a few things. Could you go into a bit specific of what you were looking for?
I spoke to Lady Andrada who wanted me to check on this city, and she said that there had been reports of entrances, dilapidated parts. She wanted to know if it was safe to enter, so I came in. There were some strange creatures here, and she offered a favor if I had gotten rid of them. Don't think I've technically gotten rid of all of them, but survival is more important than rewards.
Agreed. And the spot that Lady Andrada actually requested was the previous location we came from, correct? Or was it this city as well?
That was this city.
This city that we're currently in now.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, at least we know that the city is now currently being occupied. That still counts as a favor since you performed the task at hand. Just because a location is occupied by residents does not mean you didn't perform the task of investigating the location and finding out that it's currently being squatted upon. So,
still, what I was actually asked to do was incomplete. But we'll see how it goes. It'll be a bit before I head back over that way.
Oh, this could be real bad.
Well, afterwards, let's just say if you have some free time or if you would like to travel, I and my friends and I, we were able to obtain some funds, and we're attempting to build a keep in this location called the Isles. It's not too far from here. We bought ourselves a ship and a crew associated with that ship to take us over to that location where we could build our own home, create our own horde, and build our legacy. And if you're free or interested or have nothing to do after this is over with, we'd love to have you join us.
Not immediately, but maybe. Maybe I'll find you all later.
All right. And when that takes place, you're going to have to give me more information on what you found about our road to ascension. Because to be honest, the only part I know is about hitting epic deeds. I didn't know there was more to it than that. So
I'll think about it.
Really? You just going to keep that away from me like this?
Maybe. I'm leaning towards yes. I found out myself after all.
That is unfair. I mean, why are you just going to keep it? You know, the others are going
to ever claim to be fair.
Oh, that is wrong. That is so wrong. You know, I came out here because I was afraid for your safety, and I wanted to make sure that you were safe. And you came and give me some information about how to reach all of our goals and dreams. We all want to reach the becoming a true dragon.
Find yourself in danger. I will gladly come and search for you as well.
So what you're saying, this was a boon exchange. I see how you are. Okay, good to
It sounds so businessy. It's really more of a family protecting family.
I see how it is. Okay, I see how it is. You know what I think it is? I think you're afraid. If you tell me this information, you're afraid I'm going to reach becoming a full dragon before you will. That's unfair. That's unfair, because if I found the information, I would tell you.
If you're able to do it before me, then wouldn't you also be able to figure out the information on your own?
Well, I mean, like, if you gave me the information, I perhaps would be able to.
What you're saying is you can't beat me if I don't help you first.
I'm not trying to beat you. I'm just saying. You. I think you're.
You need the advantages.
Yo.
You need me to give you the answers to the problems.
Not need.
Okay.
I don't say
not
need.
all of us can accomplish our goals on our own. Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is on now. Okay, I see. And there's like there's a smirk as the tail get a bit more frantic, like, oh, it's about to go down. All right, we can make this a race. We'll make this a race. All right, we'll do this. But yeah, that's just us. That's us.
as she's walking by. Don't be suspicious. Do not be suspicious.
We are not suspicious. We
No,
are
we are not
suspicious.
suspicious.
She's making like really exaggerated steps. Like,
Yeah.
mm,
Don't be
kind of like
suspicious.
slapping themselves up against the wall.
Why were there just gnomes just randomly out there? That's what's bothering me.
I mean,
Well, they're deep gnomes. They reside in the Underdark.
yeah, and I mean, out of character, Durger. Well, I don't know about Ree's game, but normally Durger and Mind Flayers are kind of
Common, extremely common.
yeah. Well, they don't necessarily work together, but they do a lot of business.
That's actually wild.
Mhm.
So it's
But
they
I don't know
all-
about Ree's world could be different in that respect. So don't know.
Yes, that's the reason why Aspen was like they're probably residents too, because usually, but yeah, not 100% certain. But yeah, Aspen is just playfully playing with his sister while figuring out that she's trying to make this to a race of who can become a full dragon first.
I'm trying to figure out was she sent there to eliminate the gnomes or was she sent there to eliminate the mind flayers? That's my thing.
But not the nose, because she was the one that rescued them. Like how we were able to determine that she was here was the bandage that was wrapped around the gnomes came from her.
Right.
So when they were injured. So if she would have been dead, we would have saw dead bodies on the ground versus them being bandaged.
But is that more saying that's toward Eileen's character, or was that the original mission? That's the thing about it. Because if her mission was to go to the city and take out the creatures inhabiting it, and if those gnomes were inhabiting that city before, I don't know, Mind Flare Junction, because the thing is, like, the gnomes were somewhere along that path or in that city, to which she then met them and gave them first aid and then sent them further toward the direction we were going in. So,
were you? I don't know. That wouldn't really. It wouldn't make much sense. Why was she back? Well, I mean, I can ask though, but
well, I'm just okay because it just seems kind of funky, especially the way these people are acting right now.
Who? The aberrations, or
yeah, because my thing is, I don't know if we're in the middle of a turf war.
Oh yeah. Aspen will look towards Eileen and says, "By the way, where did you see those gnomes? By the way."
When I helped them, or when did I first see them?
Both. Like what? How? Because they were just a random group that we came across. Like, were they residing within the city? What happened there?
No, they were traveling to the city.
Oh,
I came across some very strange creature. I helped them out.
So
the same.
toward it.
Was it the same ones that has the tentacles coming around?
No. This one was spiky. It almost looked sort of like a boar, but with bones sticking out of it. Very strange.
And they attacked the gnomes.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we should have asked them where their home was. They said they were going to take care of things on their own. Did you happen to see any other deep gnomes around by chance, or were they the only three?
Not anywhere near here.
Most of them might be dead because we did pass by all those small skeletons on our way in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were definitely a lot of dead bodies around. So, just curious. We had to keep an eye out. Figure out.
That was just my concern. I was like, I don't know if this is a turf war, and we're just shifting the balances of power.
Well, not us. We're just going into the main building, so we're not trying to evacuate the city or anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about the other city, but side tangent.
But yeah.
Right. So I guess going to take the better part of a day for them to finish up here. Are you all staying in this room?
They'll do a quick search around, of course, around the location to make sure everything's fine. Then from there, they're going to head over to Layla. Says, So about you owing me.
Oh, cashing that check in already?
Not yet.
All right.
I'll think
Well,
of
what
something.
were you thinking?
You know what? You know what? We'll wait a few. I have a couple ideas, but I'm going to iron out to a solid 3. So therefore, you at least have a choice.
Okay.
All right. You're not seeing anything, right?
Huh?
Nothing looks suspicious while we're waiting.
I mean, everything's suspicious.
Of course, you would know.
Well, no. It's just it's one of those things as we're underground. I don't like to be underground. I do not do well underground. So everything is suspicious because it's underground. Also, how long are we staying here?
No more than a day, from my understanding. They say it would take about a few hours for them to pick up the pieces or extract the items that they're looking for.
Oh.
Your previous home, it was not underground?
Oh no, I'm from a barren desert. So like the dirt I get, the temperature's different because it's cooler down here. And also there weren't a lot of like squid looking people.
I see. But the heat, because you seem to be able to handle the heat, like myself, and a points towards Eileen. And Eileen, that's from the desert, or is that? How does that apply exactly? Where does your resistance to hotter temperatures come from?
She just like points up to her horns.
Well, I'll be honest. My knowledge of guessing what you are is not as proficient. I know about dragons. I know about aberrations and a few things, but I think you claim yourself as a tiefling. I don't know much about that, so.
Oh, we're usually descended from like demons and devils. So it's somewhere up the family tree somewhere. I'm not exactly sure. My mom's a tiefling. I'm a tiefling. My aunts and uncles are tieflings. Like, I don't know where the demon or the devil came in from. So, you know, I don't really feel like genealogy, and mom doesn't really like to talk about grandma and grandpa. So I don't know. Evidently somebody owes somebody money, and it's a very unpleasant situation.
Ooh. So would you say there is family conflict within your lineage?
Oh, yeah, a ton of it.
And that's normal?
I mean, yeah. I mean, don't most families like argue and attempt to stab each other?
No, that is, well, perhaps us dragons are different. I literally left my home to find my sister, and we don't even have the same mother.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure you could tell. I mean, if you look at her horns, her horns are of a white crystal variety, while mine is golden. You share the same father, with different mothers.
Oh. I just thought it was like, you know, like how my family is and we're all various shades of different colors.
Oh no, I have two moms and one dad.
Oh. I'm not going to ask how that works out.
It's a poly relationship.
That's very interesting. Is that common amongst your kind?
I don't know.
I thought you knew
Perhaps.
everything about dragons.
Oh, that's a low blow. Okay. 2 points. 2 points. All right. You see the nod? Like, oh, I'll take that ping underneath the legs for now. 2 points.
The fluffing of hair.
D up, Aspen.
Yeah. Deal, right? It's like, okay, they'll in the words of J.C. Carl, I'm taking a note of that. I'll take a note. Yep. And they'll keep moving around to make sure there's nothing going on.
Reagan just chilling and waiting.
Go ahead.
Axel,
Hmm.
did you see anything suspicious so far?
Axel looks around some more. I don't know, Reed. Did I see anything suspicious so far?
No. So far, it's been pretty quiet. The city is almost eerily quiet. You know, you can detect like mice or any of the small vermin you'd expect.
No, I don't seem to see anything down here. It's oddly quiet. Perhaps too quiet. Maybe those big doors keep out all the vermin.
Maybe they use vermin as battle animals.
Maybe. But they seem a little too large for that. Unless they're bigger vermin, I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna guess bigger vermin.
It's possible. But I mean, are you talking about like riding those giant worm things?
Oh no, those things are gross. Why would I want to touch one of those?
Oh, not us. I mean, we don't know what these guys are into.
I mean, maybe. Why would you have a giant worm underground?
I guess they're good at moving around through the dirt.
What if they use the worms to spy on people?
That's genius. We should learn how to talk to these worms. And I mean, assuming it doesn't try to eat us.
You know, I kind of don't want to get near one of them again. It looked like it could hit very hard. And I know Reagan got crushed by a spider. I don't want him to get crushed by a worm.
You know, it did seem awfully aggressive. You know, I mean, it may have been getting egged on by its other companions. Perhaps those strange creatures were controlling it.
How much longer before we can get to the surface again? Regan!
I mean, are you saying that through the mic? I don't know if he's
Yeah, she's just got her little stone in her hand. How much longer until we're loaded and leaving?
I don't know, fair tiefling. I assume until the job is done.
Oh. She just kind of like sits down.
Once again, the fading couch just like magically appear.
Yeah. Roll performance to see who's checking Layla out this time. Y'all watch the deep elves be like, "What I say?"
Aspen,
Just come out of the shadows.
Aspen, what is your passive perception?
19.
It's actually happening.
Roll me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Okay.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay. As a 24.
As you are walking around, you catch just in your kind of peripheral vision something flying toward you. And as you turn, you kind of reach out and you find a very small but this big white bottle with a cork stopper in it.
Do I look around to see who threw it at me?
Eileen.
Oh, for some reason I can't hear you.
Eileen.
Oh.
No.
What is this?
Consider it a thanks. I will get some more of those later. There's 2 pills in there that I got from Lady Andrada. They should be able to help you or your friends restore magical energy or something.
And how did you know I was going to catch this?
Well, if you didn't, then the bottle would have broken and then you would have lost the pills. Been your fault.
That would have been a major risk.
It's been your fault. I was giving them to you anyway. If you lost them, then that's all.
Okay, well, thank you. And next time, perhaps give me like a quick statement of like, heads up, Aspen, incoming, Aspen. Of course you would. Why am I not surprised? He'll wrap the, he says there's 2 pills in it, right? he's thinking to himself who uses the most magic. I think he heads over towards Ray. He heads over to the rest of the group. He of course says, "Thanks. We'll see how we could best utilize this." And he's going to head over to the rest of the group and says, "My sister gave me some thank you pills, essentially items that."
I wasn't ready for thank you.
Thank you, pills.
Thank you pills.
There is a tiefling that lays up a little bit with her eyebrows raised.
Like, where did that couch come from? In any case, there's it seems to regenerate magic upon taking these pills. I'm trying to recall. I will take one, but who else utilizes magic besides myself?
Like
We know our friend Dio.
or Dewdrop.
Oh yes. Perfect.
I mean, I use a little bit of magic, but you know, it's okay. Just a little bit. I don't need it.
I use it as well, friend, but I've been getting by so far.
I don't know about magic, but if anybody's feeling hurt, I can make some berries.
Good berry. Let's go.
I want to try a berry.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Okay.
That's true. But
Now-
those
now-
will suffice
now,
us
are-
for the entire day. So
I know you do like sneaky stuff on the side. These aren't like poisonous berries. You're not gonna like try and drop all of us in one go.
why would he do such a thing?
You never know.
I mean, I don't have that much magic.
Oh, so I'm curious. I wonder if they have
I
one
just
of
have,
those.
and he does like a little. He starts to pull his hand out of just his cloak, and it's like I just have this much magic.
Oh, good, friend. And Reagan will take one, pop it in his mouth.
That was
Handful of
very
berries.
smooth. Takes a berry.
How many hit points are you guys missing?
It's only going to give us one.
No, I know.
just one.
So I'm wondering how much they're missing because there's 10 of them.
Oh, Reagan's
Yeah.
at full.
Yeah, I just take
okay.
one just so I don't have to worry about eating for the rest of the day.
Right.
That's pretty much the primary reason. And also, Aspen is going to look for another case to see if it's possible to find one of those tar pits that we found before. Since we're this deep in the underground, perhaps there may be some more tar pits that they could be able to find around here.
Are you leaving the
Yeah.
building?
Yeah, Aspen will say to the others and say, I'm just going to step out for a second. I'm not going to go further aside due to our perimeter requirements, but I want to see if perhaps I can find another example of that tar that is worth so much to the mortals back in the city of Alexandria.
Watch out for worms.
Be careful, friend.
Yeah,
We
if
want
they-
new friends, not new enemies.
Oh yes, that's why I'm not planning on going any further than the house or the location. But yes,
Hey, Axel.
Hmm.
2 gold says he sees a giant rat.
Mm.
3 if somebody's writing on it.
We know what we want.
I'll take that action. It seems pretty quiet around here.
Excellent.
Roll me a stealth check.
oh check. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They watching.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Oh,
What
thank
done
you.
did.
That was almost a net 20. 19 plus 8, 20, 20,
27.
27, yes.
You make your way out of the building and you begin to search the area around it, and that brings you into kind of the next closest building, and you realize that this building seems to have been some sort of maybe greenhouse or botany lab or something like that. And as you move around, make me a wisdom saving throw.
Well, okay. Okay, not as good, but it's pretty good. Wisdom, you say 17.
As you're moving, you kind of make your way through this building, and you find towards the center of it is what looks to be kind of like a long, kind of worn and withered tree. But as you kind of look around it, you see the tree itself begins to kind of fade a bit, And you realize you're looking at an illusion.
We're in trouble.
The tree is an illusion. I'm going to turn around and see if the building that we're in is also an illusion.
Well, you can see it's not. Looks solid.
So I have blind sight. Does anything else give the impression of something being an illusion?
No.
So just the tree. Okay. Well, their only purpose was really to take a look around to see, just within the near facility, if they could spot one of those. Oh. Does the illusion fade away?
Do you attempt to interact with it?
Just to clarify, is this tree considered part of the main building structure, or does it look like I'm sorry to leave that location to head somewhere else?
It's in the center of the second building.
Is that farther than what we were told that we could go?
Much further, yeah.
Oh,
you
in that case,
stay in that first building, you've gone into a completely separate building.
Was when they realized that they went far too far than they expected. They would like to return back.
Okay, you make your way back.
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing else you all wish to accomplish, then the expedition begins to finish up, and you see now that they've gone through it, most of this room seems to be not quite back together, but you can see what it was. And this does seem to have been some sort of like military planning area. There's looks to be like what you'd guess would be some sort of board where pieces would go, though it seems to have long since faded. You see there is a table that used to have chairs around it, and you can see some of them. Some of the chairs are still there, but in broken, withered stone. And after a while, you begin to pack up the carts. Yeah, so the stone looks old and broken in some places, withered, old to you.
Okay, but withered stone.
Yeah, withered.
Not wood.
No, withered stone. Not like eroded stone, I guess would be a better word than withered.
What? Water?
Oh no, you don't know. Do not know. But after about 6 hours, they finish up, and you can see now the cart is filled with different things. You see there are pieces of what looks to be like jewelry that have been left behind, bust of different people. It looks to be kind of looks to have like stone version of regalia on them. You see more than a few paintings. It looks to be decorative weapons that seem to be very old and tied with strings and ribbons. And with that, the expedition is ready to return.
We went all this way. We don't get to trade with nobody. They don't even want to talk. They're like, we're just going to do research and leave.
Look, you guys all stayed in one building for this entire time. I don't know
we
what
were
you
told.
want me to do. Listen, just because you guys all want to follow the rules and explore nothing does not mean that the rest of the world is going to help you with that. All right, you guys.
It's your fault for giving us 4 carts to look after. 4.
Look.
We are doing our best to make sure that the inhabitants of the city know that we are at least good to our word, and we stuck to the
exactly. And your hard work is noted.
Exactly.
That being said,
plus 10,000 gold is a good reason to stay in the building.
That's the reason why the minute you said that I went too far from the first building, I was like, oh no, I'm back quick.
You will get your reward then. And
I am in danger.
As you all are fully rested, I will say that there will be just enough time for you all to take a long rest as well, because
Sweetness.
Yay!
Thank you.
The expedition begins to leave the lost city. And I think that is where we're going to end our adventure this evening.
Oh, you can't be serious, dog.
Do we wait? Are we just leaving the city, or are we back to the surface? Like, how far did we make it?
So far, you guys are just leaving the city.
Oh,
That
yes,
means
yeah,
there's more
yeah.
chaos.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, and leaving
We're gonna see that worm again. I feel it now.
Mm-hmm. You know, Rhea's about to give us like 6 times of somehow going through that purple worm room.
Everything comes
so
at
tragic.
a price. However, the price does sometimes come with good things. And you all will gain a level for this.
Time to
But
pick an
with
oath.
that, our adventure has concluded for the night. So I do thank you all for playing with me, and I thank everyone who is watching for watching with us, and we thank you for following as well. Big 50 is a wonderful time. So we're going to have all of our wonderful people here go ahead and reintroduce themselves to us. Let us know what they're up to. And we're going to start with, who do we want to start with? Reagan, we're going to start with you.
All right, I guess I'm going first. Y'all already know who it is. Y'all already know where to find me. Twitch, YouTube, both my own and the Cookout TTRPG. And hopefully y'all see me tomorrow. I pretty much said everything in the beginning. Next caller.
Okay, sure. Next
Yeah, I'm
up,
keeping it short. I know how it goes.
Kira, your turn. Your turn.
All right, so I hope you enjoyed this session. This was a lot of fun. I'll be honest, Aspen is easily one of my favorite characters in this campaign. It's definitely one of my favorites. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. Well, in terms of content, as stated, you can be able to find all of our content listed at twitch.tv/Akira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs on YouTube. Well, that is now the official URL because we have reached over 100 subscribers on the YouTube. So,
Hey.
in terms of content, we of course are going with our Marvels, the new Vanguard campaign, which is currently airing. It's been a major blast, so much fun going on with utilizing the Marvel Multiverse playtest rule set. Tons of special guests that came by, such as Luis Corazzo, TJ Storm, and you'll see a new announcement for a new guest coming in this Monday. So just keep an eye out on our Twitter at the Kira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs for finding out who the new guest is going to be for episode 5. In terms of other new projects, you'll be able to see me in an upcoming show called The Expanse. If you've seen the Amazon Prime TV show, there was a TTRPG based upon that, and I'm gonna be playing in the Expanse universe on Greater Restoration. So I'm super looking forward to that. That's one of the few sci-fi projects that we have in place. There's another new project that'll be coming out on the Cookout TTRPGs that's also sci-fi based called Parts Unknown. We'll be keeping an eye out on Twitter to see the debut time for when that comes out. And there's much more projects that I'll be working on. So if you want to figure out or follow me on what I'm doing and what shows I'm appearing in, just follow me on Twitter at the Kira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs. And that's me.
All right. Next up, Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm. You can find me on Twitter at Sir Monolith. I am here on Sunday nights and Monday nights at the same time, as well as Sunday mornings, or not mornings really, earlier Sunday afternoons over on the Bear Pen on the Bayou. And yeah, but you should definitely come check us out tomorrow night here on Ree's channel, because that's another fun game.
All right, then last but certainly not least, Ari.
Hi, Mari. You can find me at Small Shadow Snack, where I tweet any projects I'm involved in. If you tune in tomorrow night, you can see me playing Sebastian, who is the most friendly Lasombra in Cleveland. It's a bit weird, but you know, it works. He's still alive. On Sundays, of course, you can see me here playing Layla. And earlier in the evening, you can see me playing the non-friendly Toreador on the Bear Pen. I do have a couple of upcoming projects for the Bear Pen. I will be starting a Hunters the Reckoning series starting in September. We are getting that off the ground. It's going to be a lot of fun. I get to torment a new person this time around, and then also tormenting my usual people. It's fine. They're used to my brand of chaos. Also, you can find me over on the Cookout TTRPG on YouTube, where I play in Reclamation and Rivenwood, and yeah, that's all I got.
All right. And with that, I believe our announcements are complete. Our adventure has concluded, which means it is time for us to depart, and we hope you will join us tomorrow night and next week to continue where this story has left off and to see just how this world continues to unfold. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
And next time, Reebears Grits.
Don't care about